Welcome to Old Stogie. I'm Shane.
I'm Randy, and we're the Old Stogies. We're doing a little video here, a little podcast, and we hope to make this a reoccurring thing because you deserve it. But before we get started, let's talk about the proper way to light a cigar. Now, most of you out there are saying, yeah, I know how to light a cigar, but a lot of you, maybe you're new to cigars and you don't know exactly the process. But if you come into our lounge, you're going to see basically the same thing. So we've cut the end that we're going to smoke through. This is called a V-cut.
Tell them what type of cigar, Randy.
Oh, this is a Southern Draw, Quick Draw Connecticut. Mild, light wrapper. It's from a company in Austin called Southern Draw, a veteran-owned company. Really, really nice cigars, and we're the only ones in this area.
Yep.
That have these cigars. So next time you're in, definitely grab one of these. You're really going to love it.
I'm smoking another Southern Draw. This is a kudzu. It's more of a medium to robust. But this is my go-to cigar before any event, after an event, during an event. Pretty much all the time.
Pretty much all the time. Absolutely, yeah. This is a good everyday cigar. Normally before an event, you'll see me smoking a Southern Draw Firethorn, which normally comes in Toro or Gordo. This is a Corona sized, and I really like this. It's a nice, easy, everyday smoke. This is about a 30-minute cigar, and Shane, the kudzu is
about an hour and 15.
Hour 15.
The Firethorn you just referenced, that's a commitment.
It's a commitment. It's an hour and a half to a 2-hour cigar. But,
or 4 bourbons, as we like to say.
There you go. I've made the cut in the cigar. There's different types of cuts. There's punches, there's V-cuts, there's flat cuts. Shane, what's the difference between a V-cut and a flat cut?
For me, the amount of tobacco that gets in my mouth.
So you spend less time. There you go.
Yeah.
There's the biggest difference.
And from the guy that has to sweep the lounge every night, yeah, I prefer a V-cut.
There you go. There's the biggest difference. So the first thing we're going to do to light is, this is called toasting the foot. And it just applies heat to the cigar.
Generally, you don't want to try and get the flame right on it. You want it to hover above the flame.
There you go. Nice. Now, we draw the cigar, and it's lit. So, cigar lighting 101. You're welcome. So, Old Stogie Company actually started as an idea probably third quarter last year. We thought this would be a really cool thing to do because we like cigars and we like bourbon.
We spent a lot of evenings out on the patio at different places around town, just hanging out, having a couple of bourbons and a cigar, and one thing led to another.
And October of last year, we bought the Airstream. She was down at Rockport. She was buried in the sand. And
no wheels.
No wheels.
Sitting on railroad ties.
Yep. I had to actually jack the camper up to get the tires on. So we pulled it back to Victoria, spent about 2 weeks demoing, and then we started building in.
It was actually a full-on camper. A person or people, we're not positive, were living in it off and on as a vacation property.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, stove, refrigerator, bathroom, everything had to come out. We had to replace some subfloor and redo all of the electric.
Yep. And that was the most fun part, redoing all the electric. And when I say fun, I mean gut-wrenching nightmare. But we got it all together, and it actually works. And no one's more surprised than me.
It was a lot of hard work on the electric. I mean, I spent hours standing there watching Randy do all the electrical work. Hours. I learned a few new colorful phrases.
Absolutely, yeah. It all came together, and I'm glad Shane was there because, you can't do electrical work unwatched.
Somebody had to hand him the wrong tool.
Absolutely. So a little bit more about the lounge. What you see, all the wood on the sides is all reclaimed Hurricane Harvey wood. The shiny stuff on the upper half is actually pressed tin. that we got from a company in Houston, and then the strip of wood down the center actually came from my dad's lake house before he passed. Now the benches, actually the frame of the bench was designed and built by my dad 2 weeks before he passed away in January. But the actual structure of the bench, of course, Shane and I did. The cushions were made by my wife Laura, and then also as you come into our lounge, the main focal point in the back of the lounge was painted by my wife Laura as well. But we don't call it the focal point. What do we call it?
Chewbacca's forehead.
If you've ever seen it, you'll understand that. And if you don't understand it, you need to come see it, and then you'll totally understand it. So,
yeah, Laura wasn't happy when I called it that.
But she saw it then,
yeah.
And then it was yeah, there you go. So, the sales counter up front has kind of an interesting story too.
Yeah, it was the hostess station at the Sendera. It's much bigger then than what it is now. We went back and forth with them for a good 2 to 3 weeks trying to get the price down to where we wanted it. So when we actually got it, we put it in my garage, and we knew it was way too big, and we knew we were going to have to cut it. First we had to cut the feet off because it was way too tall. 2 short guys like us, we were like this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a fun experience cutting it. I think it took a bourbon or 2 to kind of get us loosened up enough to go, let's cut it.
We can do this. Yep.
Now the fans are an interesting story. You want to give them the specs?
So you'll notice running down the middle we have 3 exhaust fans and 1 air conditioning unit. Now the exhaust fans, when we bought those, we sized them that on high speed they would move 750 cubic feet per minute of air out the fan. So with 3 of them running at top speed, we can totally turn over the volume of air in the lounge every minute and a half. And we sized them that way because we didn't want it to look like a Cheech and Chong movie. We wanted to get the smoke out of here. Because we hear a lot, oh no, it's going to smell smoky. Well, it really doesn't. It's just got that beautiful seasoned cigar smell. Now the problem was when we pulled the old fans out, they were round and held in with about 10,000 rivets. We finally got all those out and we started to set the new fan in place. Well, guess what? It was a square fan. So me being the overthinker, I sat and cogitated on it for some time.
On the outside, you were up top.
I was up top. I was up top, sitting there just scratching my head, and Shane was in here. And finally, Shane had the solution, and he hollered through the hole where the fan used to be.
Fuck it, cut it.
So that's what we did. We
well, not exactly.
Not
I said that.
Yeah.
You were more. Well, hang on a minute.
Yeah,
so
let
I
me
just
think
picked up
about it.
the Sawzall and started cutting. So it worked. No leaks. Fans work beautifully.
It did work, and they do work beautifully. Yeah, but everything in here has a story to it. Everything has a story. So when you stop by and see us, please ask us, because we love to tell stories, especially about the work we did on the lounge here. So anyway, please go to our website, go to our Facebook, go to our Instagram to find out our schedule and where we're going to be next. We're working out from Victoria, so you may see us in Beeville, you may see us in Schulenburg, you may see us in Port Lavaca. But also don't forget that we're available for rent for special events like wedding receptions, bachelor parties,
Super Bowl parties,
even poker night.
corporate events
As well. We'll come
golf tournaments.
Golf tournaments, yes. Yeah, we've got our first golf tournament next week. But absolutely, just keep us in mind for that. Available for rent, and this is absolutely the best job in the world. It's not very many places you can smoke a cigar, have a bourbon, visit with great people, and still get paid for it. So anyway, if you haven't been yet, we look forward to meeting you. And
in the meantime, I'm gonna roll through a few pictures here of the lounge during the demo and the rebuild. Just kind of give you an idea. We'll be back in just a second.
Great.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out through those photos. It's just a small taste of some of the fun that we had while we were trying to renovate this.
And it was fun. What was your favorite part?
Probably the business meetings at the end of the day. Every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes during.
Sometimes during. For those of you who haven't heard the story, our business meetings usually consisted of setting up a couple chairs in the back part of the lounge.
Trash
everywhere. Tools, wall hanging off. But we came to a stopping point, and we would pour a bourbon and light a cigar and talk about what we're going to do tomorrow and what we're going to do next week and what we're going to do next month.
And what we're going to do when it takes off. And
Yep. So it was literally a business meeting. So for those of you who have never been in the lounge before, let's talk just a few seconds about what you can expect.
We have everything. We're a full service lounge. We have everything, anywhere from the beginner to the seasoned professional that they can appreciate.
Absolutely. Very small flavored cigars all the way up to larger, full-bodied, very robust cigars. And here's the thing, is when you pick one out, we're going to cut it for you.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to light it for you. And although we do have a menu sitting out on our command center over here, we will try to pair one of our cigars with what you're used to smoking and what you like with some of the cigars you smoked in the past. Now, a good deal of our inventory comes from Southern Draw, the company out of Austin that I mentioned earlier. They've got something for everyone, all the way from very smooth 30-minute cigars with Connecticut wrappers to
the Jacob's Ladder, which is a very, very robust cigar.
Yep.
Is the best way to put it.
That's the best way to put it. Shane told me one time, when you smoke one of those, you know you've had a cigar. Now we also carry assorted other cigars as well, some with some flavors. But we try to keep our cigar line around 16 to 18 cigars because we don't want you to feel overwhelmed. And we have found that is a pretty good sweet spot where we can usually find something that you're going to like and that you're going to enjoy smoking.
And we take a few minutes with every customer. We talk with them. We ask them, have they smoked before? What did they like? You know, what's their preferences? And then we try and tailor one of our cigars right up with what they would like.
Also taking into account what you're drinking, because if you're drinking let's say a pale ale, the pairing may be a little different than if you're drinking a very dark, full-bodied beer. Same goes true with wine. If you're drinking a Chardonnay, different cigar than if you're drinking, say, a Zinfandel or a Merlot. And even with bourbons.
I only know the bourbons and scotches.
But we can also make some recommendations for you as well.
After that third bourbon, the cigar doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah. So, where are we going with all this? We'd love to have you in. We plan on doing more episodes like this. Probably going to have some special guests to talk a little bit about their first cigar and what they like now and why they like it. So we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel, and we hope to be seeing you soon. Thanks for dropping in and giving us a few minutes.
And remember, smoke them if you got them.
That's what I'm talking about.